I'm going to be putting together the CloudShell2 V2 with the XU-4 and two Western Digital red 4TB hard drives. So let's just put that to the side, as we won't be needing those for the time being. Before we start, I'll give you a few pointers on how to get the cling film, the wrap. It's very frustrating. I spent like 10 minutes on one piece, and I thought there has to be a better way. Well, there is. What I did was found some masking tape. This is 3M. So if you have got any masking tape of good quality, all you do is grab a little bit. If you've got scissors, then use scissors. I'll use a knife. Get the piece in front of you, put that down, and then there we go. So that's one side. Chuck that in the bin, and I should get a Nobel prize for doing this. And there we go. There's the next one. So put that on there. So I put that piece to a side for later. I've done the rest in the video, so I won't have to do that again. So I've organised the screws, a bit geeky and a bit organised. I put all the screws into the right compartments, matching all the screws. Just makes it a bit easier, guys, especially when making the video. I do recommend you go through the bags of screws, put them in piles, which ones go with which. It does make it easier. Now, during the instructions, the inventory, on the website, it says that you've got 4 of these screws, which are for the fans, but you've actually got 5. So, and I think I've got an extra one of those. So it does help by counting them, and then you know what letter they are. But bear in mind, you might get an extra one which throws you off a little bit. These are standard fan screws. Everybody should be familiar with those. It's not actually focusing, but never mind. And then you've got the screws for the hard drive and whatnot. Anyway, I'll go through it with you when I'm building it, and I'll give you any tips I discovered along the way. Well, previously. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side over there. And then the first bits we need are the 2 longest parts, which look like that. Now they look the same, but they're not. This one's got the 2 holes, so this is the one. This is the most important one, as we use that as a start point, and then from there we won't go wrong, because these need to be put on the right side of the hard drive. If you put them on the wrong side, then later on you have the problem of the LCD display not being able to screw it in, and beyond that you'll probably run into more problems as well. So let's grab a hard drive. So I've got a hard drive here. Basically, these grills, what you see on both sides, need to be facing up. So for example, these grills above the hard drive, you see you've got the label there and you've got the grill there, and the hard drive label should be there. Now where we go from here, and I have to remember myself, is the hard drive's going on with the shortest amount of distance from the front. That is our front. On the back, we've actually got more of a gap. That's because the fan will go there, and at the front the LCD display, so it doesn't need to be as much room at the front. So let's start off. I'll put that to the side. What we're going to do is I'm going to lay the hard drive on its side. Now you do need to be careful, because you really don't want that coming down on your desk or whatever you're using. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to balance it on there. As I said, do be careful, guys, because you probably, if it does fall, the hard drive will actually probably damage itself. Actually, even a better way, which is the way I did it earlier, is you can put 2 hard drives in there, line them up on the 3 holes. Remember, longest distance at the back, shortest at the front, and the grills on the up the top towards the label. Okay, so let's screw this in. There's one screw. I'll just do it lightly, guys, for now, because we need to get the other side on, and we really don't want to be tightening them up until we've got the other side on. But I will tighten them up a little bit more than what they are now. Just trying to make sure that I get them in quickly so these hard drives can't fall on their side, which should be very hard at the time I've got this screw in. Nope, that's the wrong screw. That one there, I don't think you're going to be able to get focused on there. This one here, there should only be 2 in the pile, but let's see if I can focus on that screw. It's not going to focus, is it? No. Okay, there's two screws. They're very similar. One's got a rounder head. Oh, one's got a rounder head, and another one's got a flatter head. The rounder head ones, they go for the LCD display. The squarer ones, which are less rounded on top and slightly larger heads, they're for the hard drive. So let's put that back and get this correct screw. Okay, so got 3 in there, 4 even, learn to count. Let's put that in the middle so you guys can see a little bit better. I got smoky blue because I thought it would stop the fingerprints and the dust, but I'm questioning my decision now. I don't know. Let us know in the comments, guys, with if you're using the clear version and what your thoughts are on using the clear. So line that up, grab some more screws. Struggling to get them out of this lemon organizer. What a good idea that was. Okay, let's screw that in. Again, I don't want to do them too tight. Not until we've got all the screws in there. Is this screwdriver a magnetic one? No, it's not. I wished I had a bloody magnetic screwdriver, but I haven't. Well, I have, but I can't dig it out now. I'm involved. Okay, that's not going in, so that's... Why is that not going in? Okay, so let's move the hard drive a bit that way. That's why you don't tighten the ones at the back, guys, too much, because I've probably done it a little bit too much on the back, and that's why I ran into that problem. Oh, man down. Last screw. Okay, let's get that tightened up. It's acrylic, guys, so it's not like a PC case. You only need like a quarter of a turn, if not a 1/6 of a return. Just you want to do it tight enough so the drive doesn't vibrate. Okay, if you tighten it too much, you're going to crack the acrylic. Let's turn it that way. Oh. Okay, so that's in. So now what we need to do is we need to put the LCD display. So I'm going to turn it up like that so I can see the SATA connections. And I'm going to grab the LCD. Let's put that underneath there. Let's bring that out a little bit for you. So what we're going to do is put the LCD display. Now the way I do this, actually, I'm going to turn it on its back so I can see the SATA cables. So you see me there, I'm actually going to line it up with the SATA cables so I can see it there, and I'm going to gently push. Okay, I'm only going to do a little bit. Now I'm going to take it back up so I can push down. Now you really don't want to be bending this board, so where you see CloudShell2, put a finger there and a finger on the left and gently push enough to make sure it's there. If you start pushing here or over here, the board's going to come out a little bit more. Double check you've done it correctly by looking there and at the top. All looks good. All looks good, so I'm going to proceed. So let's put that over there now. Okay, what we're going to do now is the fan. So grab our fan guard, grab our fan, grab 3 screws. Okay, let's get rid of those screws for now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is the fan blows, we want the fan blowing out warm air, so not blowing in, otherwise you're going to get lots of dust, and I personally prefer the air coming out anyway. So it has got arrows on there, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, so we want the arrow facing towards the grill, because that's the way, there's 2 arrows, one facing that way and one that way. We want the one facing that way to be towards the grill. So what happens is, if you look at the grill, the fan is on the other side, which rotates, so you can't touch the fan from the back. Another thing to notice is we want the cable up here. Okay, so this shape here is, we want the longest side, which is there and there. We want that to be where that cable is there. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit more so you can understand what I'm saying. So you want the longest side by the cable. Okay, so we're going to screw this in. Screwing in now. Now we're only going to install 3 screws, because later on we get to do that with something like a little latch, which I'll explain later. So don't worry about it. You're probably thinking, why is he only putting 3 in? Well, that's what the instruction says. You can actually put 4, but you have to change the latch position, which I'll show you later on. In this tutorial, I'm just gonna be covering the normal way. Oh, did I crack that? See, that's what happens, guys, when you go too hard. No, I haven't cracked it, but I'm extremely lucky. So got it there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fit it to the case. So let's zoom back out. So bird's eye view, we see got the hard drives there, got the LCD display at the top, at the front, and what we want is this cable up here. I'm going to slide it there, and there's little grooves there. So if I just put it on this side, so come back out, we are out. So what I'm going to do, put it in there. You want the empty screw in the top right hand corner, and we're just going to slide that on. Okay, then we're going back down. And now what we need, well, if you want a silent fan, we're going to add on our little resistor, which is, I don't know if you can see that, but you probably see it in the box. So we insert that into it, and then all we do is we hook it on there. Okay, you might actually notice when I plugged that in, the LCD display moved. That's because I actually missed a step, guys. So we're going to have to go back now and correct our mistake. So we're going to put it on its side. It's not a massive issue. And we're going to screw the screen in, because we should have done that earlier. So again, don't do it too tight. Okay, so we've got our screen fastened, fixed to the front, and we've got our fan installed with the silent Ujimi thing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put that to the side. We're going to grab our XU-4 and we're going to grab a piece. There's only one of them, which looks like that. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to fit this to that. Let's come out a little bit. Now, the easiest way to do this is we have 4 of these, which are little posts, similar to what you find like on a COM port or serial port, the old ones where you could fasten it to the interface. So what we want to do now is we need to line this up correctly. So the way it goes here, and I've got to remember this, is USB needs to be, so that's wrong. I've got to remember this, guys, bear with me. So the hole needs to be where the NCE slot, EMC. Okay, so that's where it's going. Okay, the way you find out the right direction is you've got the EMC port, and that should be in this little cutout here. And then this one is our USB 3 facing. And if you look here, our network ports and other interfaces are facing outwards. Okay, so all you have to do, find that little square, line it up with the EMC. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put all these posts on. So let's get the screws. Need 4 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'll screw them in by hand. So all I do is push them in like that. Let's zoom in, and we just plonk it in like that. Okay. The nut can go any way. The thread's friendly, so it doesn't matter which way up the thread goes. Okay, so we're going to tighten those up by hand. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sit the board on top, just to make sure. You've got your USB here, which is by the square, and then down here and on the bottom of it you've got the EMC port and all the ports. So we've fixed that on there, and now we need to get 4 more screws. Let's come back out so you can see what's going on. So what we're going to do is get 1 screw going. Oh. Why is that not working? Feels like it just doesn't like the screw. Well, that one's going in fine. Let's take that screw out. I should have a spare. this is the one thing I hate about is using this kind of setup, is you kind of get them twisting, like the bolt. See the bolt twisting? I absolutely hate that when that occurs. So let me just find some tweezers if I've got some. Should use some pliers, but it means going through my tool set. Oh, not doing too good here, guys. Let's see if I can force its hand. Oh, it's screwing in now. It wasn't earlier. There we go. I'll come back to that in later. Oh. Let's see if I can solve this one. It's been very stubborn. Okay, there we go, nice and firm. Yep. What I'm going to do is quickly push down, make sure you don't push the pins and use a bit of bare spot. Just push down that heatsink to make sure it's a good stick. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put the ribbon cable onto the XU-4, sorry. So the side we want is the one which has got the notch. I don't know if you can see that, it's because my hand's in the picture. Let's move that out and it should show you. Is it going to work? And you can't see it. There's a little notch, and that notch needs to go into here facing the heatsink. Okay, so we're going to put it in there. And we also want to make sure that we've got the, if you're using eMMC, that switch there is in the right position. If you're using SD, flick it to the left. Okay. Okay. So sorry, I was just checking the dip switches on the actual LCD display, which I'll share with you in a moment. So we've got that in there. So now what we want is the USB 3 cable. No, that's not right. That's the HDMI port. Don't do that because you'll break it. So what I've done there is I've connected it in the furthest one to the top port, so if I need to plug anything in I can get to it through the hole. It's not very ideal. I wished the hole was a bit wider so you could get from the top, but it's absolutely fine. It's still a great unit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fit this to the actual, oh, you can't actually see. So what we're going to do now is actually fit this to, move my hands out of the way so let's see if it focuses. Yep. We're going to fit this to the top now. Okay. So the way we want to do this is, I forget. Okay. So we've got the USB 3 cable, guys, there. what we're going to do is run it down the front, like so, which is down here. We're not going to do anything with it for the time being. And we're going to connect the ribbon port as well, the ribbon cable even, to the front of the LCD. What you want to do is, this is the LCD, do not apply pressure directly to the LCD, guys, because you will crack the screen. It's quite tricky to do because there's not much to push on there, so you have to push the sides. Okay, that's in. You could even connect that before you position it into the case, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to run the port down. Make sure the port is like that, hanging. Okay, it's there. It's trying to hide from me. There you go. It's hanging down there. And then what we're going to do is slide that on top, and then we're going to slide it forward. But we're not going to slide it forward just yet because we need the front panel to go on. Okay, so we grab our front panel. It is symmetrical in every way, so it could go any way. So we're going to turn that back up. We're going to get that there. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Let's plug this cable in a little bit. Let's plug this cable in, the USB 3, because it just wants to keep messing me around. So a bit tight. Try not to fold the cable. Just flex it, and we need it to go in there. Okay, so in it goes. It doesn't go in all the way, guys, because it is like a little micro port. Make sure the cable's not too tight, and make sure it sits in there. And then what we're going to do is push that top back on, or let it loose, and we'll put our front on. So give it a quick wipe, and then we're going to push that down, and then we come back to our top and we slide that across. And what that does, guys, is it stops the glass coming off at the front, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, keep sliding because the USB cable. But basically, in a moment when we get to that bit, this glass will not move up because this glass prevents it doing so. We're almost there, guys. Bear with us. Okay, so we get our back. Okay, we're going to have it like this with the two notches facing outwards by the fan. So I'm going to slide that on. Is that on? Yes, it is. Okay, then we're going to slide this one again. And then we're going to grab this bit. And I've got to remember this now. It is that way. Is it that way? Yeah. Is it that way? No. Hang on, guys. Bear with me. Okay. Whoa. We take this bit out. And we push that back. We push this down. Okay. And then we put this bit here. And is it going to be nice? Play ball with me. Okay, so you got to try and wiggle it because it's got to go into this little piece here. We'll push that in. Now that is in, and then the final bit, guys. And I've dropped it on the floor. Bear with me. Hi guys, I'm back. So what as I was saying before I dropped it on the floor, we need to put this in here where the hole is missed, where we didn't screw in. You can't actually see that, very poor lighting. Where we screwed in where we didn't screw in the screw for the fan. Sorry guys. So then what we're going to do is get the screw. and we're going to screw it in. See if you can see that. And remember guys, again, it's acrylic, you cannot go too tight. Okay, so that is it. Now, no pieces, let's come back out, it is out. No pieces can come off, okay? It's all secured. Okay, and that is it guys. I hope that's cleared a few things up. Oh, one more thing. My EMCC card, EMMC even. I'll put that there. Gently does it. And find the bite. And I'm not finding the bite. Make sure that nothing's damaged. No, not finding the bite guys. There we go. Found the bite. And there we have it guys. That's how you build the CloudShell2 for the ODROID XU-4. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial guys. Sorry I stumbled a few times. But yeah, we got there in the end. Speak to you later. Thank you very much. Bye bye.